the only one who's had a song in the top 40 every year for the last 29 years. His Princess Dinah tribute, Candle in the Wind 97, is the best-selling pop single of all time. And at 52, he's hardly ready to retire. Coming up, he told us, will be a tour with Tina Turner and a new Broadway musical. But for all his acclaim, including a knighthood, even an Oscar, he is still, in many ways, the shy kid named Reginald Dwight, who at the age of 4 first began pounding the piano.
A lot of the stuff that I wasn't able to express in my life, I expressed on stage. My parents, they wouldn't let me wear pointed-toe shoes, they wouldn't let me wear chisel-toe shoes, they wouldn't let me wear hush puppies. I rebelled.
And he became the poster boy for rock and roll extravagance. His craft may have been that of singer, composer, and piano player, but his identity is defined by his passion to perform.
I mean, I enjoy all facets of my career, but I don't think I enjoy anything as much as playing live.
Being in front of a crowd singing.
Yeah,
and playing.
Showing off, as it were. Maybe it's that search for attention. I don't know. I think every performer is slightly nuts in the fact that it's a pretty unnatural thing to do, to be an actor, to be a singer, to be someone on stage. You're living a lie. It's not really who you are. It's just that craving for attention and love.
It's a seeking of approval for something other than who you
are. Exactly.
It's something he's been seeking all his life, since he was a child growing up in England. It began with his father, who banned rock music from the house and wanted Reginald to be a banker. He died 6 years ago. Do you now regret not going to his funeral?
I would have felt a bit of a hypocrite if I would have gone. Maybe I should, I don't know. The thing I regret most is that we didn't have a loving relationship. He didn't know how to connect with me, and I didn't know how to connect with him because I was afraid of him.
What do I do to make you love me? What have I got to do to be heard?
Young Reginald was never afraid of failure. While studying at the Royal Academy of Music, he quit to play in local blues bands. Then he changed his name to Elton John. It didn't take long before shy little Reg was an international superstar.
I remember when I was young, being through the yacht, so much fun.
I was like the Jimi Hendrix of the piano, and it was fantastic. And I came out in hot pants and wings on my boots and did somersaults on the piano. And I went,
where did that come from when you not only were jumping around and playing and pushing, but also you were a duck and a chicken and a whatever?
Yeah. I'm a duck and a chicken and a knock-knee and a in the Tennessee, weird one.
Yes.
That came from my teenage life of not being able to wear pointed shoes and stuff like that.
So you were saying to Dad, if I can't wear hush puppies, watch this.
Yes, it's like, wow, now I can do it. It was like being let out of a cage. And I, you know, for the first few years of my career when I was doing it, it was great fun. But towards the end, and it went overboard. It went on for far too long.
No kidding.
No kidding, right? Do I regret it? Yeah.
You do?
Yes.
Part of the costumes had to do with the fact you didn't like the way you looked. There's some sense of insecurity about appearance.
Yeah. It's like the more I could cover up myself with acres of clothing, of course not realizing that they would make you look even wider than you were. Yeah, the glasses were more, it was more the glasses than anything. I mean, the glasses, there was this little store on Sunset Boulevard called Optique Boutique, and I'd give them all the credit. They used to use plastic, and they used to make apples and stars and stripes, and they made this huge pair that said Elton that lit up. And this was in the days before the computer chip got very small, so I had this huge battery pack on, stagger on stage, and these glasses were so heavy. And I used to sing the opening number like that because they came down on my nose.
These days, backstage at a concert in Pensacola, Florida, you can see that his tastes are still uniquely Elton.
These are all the glasses that we bring with us every night. These are stage glasses. Well, if I'm wearing pink, then I can wear those, you see. If I'm feeling a little tinty, I'll wear blue ones like that. Most of the nights I've been wearing clear glasses, but tonight I'm wearing orange tinted. Who knows why?
Daniel's traveling tonight on a plane.
While touring, he often commutes by charter jet each night from his American home in Atlanta, Georgia. For this tour, he's performing solo for almost 3 hours. It is easy to see what is often missed about Elton John. He is an accomplished musician. Elton's happiness today comes not just from success, but from sobriety that began in part because of Ryan White, the young hemophiliac who died from AIDS in 1990. When Elton attended White's funeral, he began to admit that 15 years of drug and alcohol addiction was enough. In fact, more than once, it had nearly killed him.
I just looked at my life and look, you complain about everything. You complain about the color of your jet. You complain if the hotel suite doesn't have the right flowers in it. Your life is totally and utterly out of order, completely. You are a selfish pig. It was the bottom for me, the bottom to realize how low I'd become.
Shortly after Ryan White's funeral, Elton went into rehab. Since then, he has rebuilt his life around music and has established a long-term relationship with film producer David Furnish. It is a stark contrast to the life he led during the 1980s.
I was very lucky that I put myself in so many sexual situations where I could have contracted HIV.
Can you imagine how lucky you are?
Yes, I can imagine how lucky. I mean, just unbelievable. Someone must have been looking over me, God knows what. And I thought, well, you know, I've been given a second chance. I'm going to do something positive, and I'm going to start to try and do something for the people that maybe I've let down in the past.
Friends, parents.
Yeah, lovers.
Lovers.
Yeah.
In 1992, he formed the Elton John AIDS Foundation. To date, it has raised some $15 million for AIDS charities. Each year, he hosts an Oscar party in Hollywood to benefit the foundation.
So this is a staple thing that we do every year. It's one of our staple fundraisers. It also is fun because you get to see people who, you know, you're fans of and you've never met in your life before.
There can be no one that you would want to come here that you haven't met, could there?
The list is whittling its way down.
There is Elton John, the celebrity, and then there is the artist. He's created some of the most enduring songs of the last 30 years.
Yeah. Leave on girls roll like a crown. He calls the child Jesus.
The music is his, but not the words.
Well, because I don't write lyrics, it's very hard for me to express myself verbally on a song. I've tried, believe me, I've tried, and it all comes out moon and June and cat and mouse.
Wait a minute, let me just understand this. If Elton John could be a lyricist,
Yes.
you'd love it.
I would love to be a lyricist. I've tried, but it just doesn't seem to come out right. So my inner feelings come out in my melodies.
Many of the lyrics have come from Bernie Taupin.
It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside.
The two met when they answered the same London One ad seeking songwriters back in 1968. Today, their publishing rights to the songs are worth an estimated $200 million.
My heart always jumps a little bit when I see him because I love him so much, and I never will stop ever loving him. I feel quite emotional about it, but he was the brother I never had, and he was the first big spark in my life.
Soulmates.
Soulmate.
They don't create their music like soulmates, more like pen pals.
I mean, he's never been in the room when I've written. It would be uncomfortable. It would be like an intrusion.
Taupin now faxes the lyrics to Elton, who rarely spends more than an hour putting them to music.
When are you gonna come down? When are you going to land?
You can look at a fax,
Exactly.
go to the piano,
Yeah.
and you hear the melody.
Yes, you look at the lyric, you read it through, you see what the story is about, what the lyrical content, and you decide, well, I wonder what this could be. It's definitely not going to be fast. It's going to be slow or mid-tempo. But it's just, I've never really questioned it. It's something that really that happens. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes you sit down with it in front of a lyric and you can't do anything about it, and it just doesn't work. And
so you give it, what, 15 minutes and you're...
Yeah, I don't see the point of slaving over something that's not even there to start with.
He used the same process for his newest interest, the Broadway musical. Last year, with lyricist Tim Rice, he adapted their award-winning score of Disney's The Lion King for Broadway. Their next project is a new musical based on Verdi's classic story of Aida. Some of the biggest names in music lined up to record the songs for a new album.
Oh, I wish I could tell you this face to face.
He and Rice wrote 21 songs for this project.
Disney don't like me saying this, but yes, because they say, well, the Tonys are coming, and the committees think that if you write a musical in 3 weeks, that, it's, you have to sweat buckets over these things.
But you did.
We did, yes.
3
over
weeks.
A period of time, yes.
It's stunning.
Yeah, I mean, we did a song a day.
That prolific talent has always been his lifeline. In 1997, Elton lost 2 of his closest friends. First, designer Gianni Versace, then 6 weeks later, Princess Diana. At the funeral, he sang a new version of Candle in the Wind. Were you as nervous about that performance as anything you've ever done?
I wasn't nervous. I was just determined to use all the professionalism I had in my body and all the experience I've had to deliver it in a way that was dignified. I didn't want to cry. I wanted to deliver it in a way that I felt was befitting to the occasion.
And it seems to me you lived your life like a candle in the wind.
They always say champions can deliver at the toughest moment.
I'll never forget it. It was quite remarkable.
That losing everything is like the sun going down on me.
Since that summer, he's worked almost nonstop, creating and performing his music around the world.
I'm still the way I feel.
For one who has an addictive, compulsive personality, thank God there is the opportunity to be a musician.
Yes.
Otherwise, you'd be nuts.
Oh, thank God, because of my love of playing and my love of music, it kept me alive. I would be dead if I hadn't done that, without question.
Music
My love of
saved your life.
Yeah, it saved. Music saved my life. Again, it's come to the rescue for me. It's been my savior from the word go.